What's going on, everyone? Happy Memorial Day to all of you that served our country. That's one of the more important things. This was an impromptu stream. It wasn't planned with a lot of planning. I just kind of did it on a whim. StreamYard gave me StreamYard for free for a week, the most expensive one. So I wanted to fiddle around with that for a week and see how things are going. But in this stream, I'm going to be ranking my top 10 favorite franchises all time. What you want to consider a franchise, whatever you want. Basically, a franchise that has three or more films with it. There are a lot of franchises that I didn't include, but it's my list, and my opinion could change the next time I think about doing a franchise ranking video. And this is all genres, not just horror, not just action, not just dramas. It's all everything. So it could be a very hard list for some to come up with. So before I get into my ranking, I just want to cover a few things. I know views on some of my usually more viewed videos on the channel are down, and I had a big increase of subscribers, and ever since that big crazy subscriber addition, now my subscriber base is a negative, which is fine. Hopefully that turns around soon here. And then like my Walking Dead videos, which really do good, are doing lackluster. So that's a little concerning, but I'm still going. I see some people in the chat. Tell me if my audio is fine, because the last time I live streamed, which was on Sledgehammer Horror, I had major issues with audio, but I believe everything is fine. Let me know if it's good audio and not too loud, not too silent, because I can certainly change that. But just a little concern on some things on the channel with certain videos not doing well, like my physical media pickup videos are doing terrible. So it might be time to stop doing those, which I don't plan on doing one at the end of this month because I've only bought two things in the month of May thus far. So there's no point to do a video for two things. So yeah, YouTube has gotten weird. Videos that normally do well don't do well. UFC reactions, some of them do good, but others do really poorly. So it's a little concerning. I'm going to keep on trucking though. I'm going to keep making videos every day, sometimes two a day. I've added my shorts because those tend to get views. They don't help with a lot of ad revenue. And I guess I should say this stream will have ads for all of you that don't have YouTube Premium. So I do apologize for that. But just some things about the channel are irritating me with certain videos not getting that many views. And I want more views, damn it. And I want more subscribers. Thank you for letting me know the audio is good, Brad. And I'll catch up on the chat as well at some point here. And obviously, many of you know I have a rotation of shows, and I have videos set out way ahead of time. Like I'm a month plus ahead on videos. That's just how I roll, to plan ahead in case something randomly comes up. I got plenty of time. I am almost done with two of the shows that I'm doing my reviews of. So Lost and Stranger Things. At this point, I'm on the final season of both those shows. Well, Stranger Things will have more episodes at some point this year, but I'll be done until then pretty soon here. And the same thing with Lost. So I need a few more shows to cover in the meantime. So at some point, I'll put probably a list of shows that I would consider covering on the community page, and kind of get some feedback from all of you of what specifically you want to see me talk about. I know my reviews tend to be a little bit long-winded as of late. So, and then of course, in addition to the shows that I'm already covering, I still have Dexter Resurrection coming out in July, with the first two episodes due on July 11th. So I'll do my review for July 12th and July 13th for both of those episodes. But yeah, channel views are down for some videos, which normally would be up. So I'm a little concerned. Subscriber count, I lose a bunch and then I might gain one. So I lose like 5 a week and I gain one. That's kind of where it's going right now. I'm sure that will stop at some point and I'll start getting a more positive subscriber thing, but it's a little concerning here. And I need new shows to watch. So I will have a list of shows that I will consider, and then eventually coming up with like the top 4 answers of what people want to see me cover. But I'll catch up on the chat here before I get into the ranking. We have Brad Hawk Talk. Yo, what's going on, man? I almost sent you a link if you wanted to join me on this stream, but it was kind of a last minute thing. Like I only gave myself like a 2.5 hour notice. So that wasn't a lot to plan about. But if anybody wants to join the stream, I certainly can send them a link if they want to. That's fine too. We have Nathan in the chat. It's always good to see Nathan. What's up, J-Dev? Yes, a last minute thing. Me streaming on a night that I have to go to work in the morning, which is not usual for me. The sub changes isn't fun, but it'll long-term go in your favor. Yeah, I'm not concerned about it. I mean, as long as I stay over 5,000, which I guess it's possible that I fall under 5,000 if this continues, I feel like it won't go that long, though, and I'll still, like, 5,000 to me is a very important number, and I like to keep it that way. Audio is good, excellent, and no worries. I know about the last minute going live. Yeah, it's impromptu. Thought I'd go live because I just wanted to go live, and now I'm going live, and I'm glad to see that everything is working fine, because that last time for the watch along with Sledgehammer Horror on Sometimes They Come Back, I had audio issues galore, and I've never had issues before, so it was like very frustrating to the point where I was about to start throwing things. So the legendary Crazy Coffee Man, who is a Dexter fanatic, is in the chat. Dexter, Lucifer, two of his favorite shows of all time, and the legendary Crazy Coffee Man will have influence on what I watch too. Now, he mentioned something about watching what's the show with Benedict Cumberbatch, Sherlock. I don't think I'm going to watch Sherlock, unfortunately. I just don't really have interest in it, but I know there's a show that you like, and I believe it has another season coming out soon, Resident Alien. It's possible I might give that a watch. I have to watch 2 more shows once Lost and Stranger Things are over with, well, at least until the Stranger Things new episodes start. So Resident Alien is certainly on my radar, although I haven't watched a trailer to see if that would be something I'd be interested in, but I think I might watch it, but not guaranteeing that I will. So good to see you all in the chat. Obviously, Brad Hawk Talk has a YouTube channel. If you're interested in The Last of Us content, if you're interested in Dexter content, or like Halo live watch-alongs and Slay the Spire watch-alongs, which not necessarily my thing, but it's good to chit-chat with one of my YouTube friends if I'm bored with nothing else to do, or if I got lots of stuff to do, but it keeps my attention. But that's usually what happens. I got a bunch of things to do, and then somebody goes live, and then I realize an hour later I'm chatting in the chat. So if you like the content that Brad does, like The Last of Us and Dexter, be sure to check him out. Yes, definitely appreciate Brad friendship with all you guys YouTubers, Crazy Coffee Man, Nathan, T. Parker Evans, which I'm sure he'll show up at some point, or maybe he's got things to do. It's impromptu, so I don't expect everybody in the world to come in this chat. I watched midway through season 2 of Resident Alien. It was fun. Okay. I'll probably check it out, although I'm not guaranteeing it. We'll see. It'll be my usual reviews, what I do now. And I will be doing reviews of Cobra Kai, the last part of Cobra Kai. I know I'm kind of behind. Actually, the last 2 parts of Cobra Kai. I don't like it when a bunch of stuff gets released on the same day, and like it's just a pain in the ass. So I'd rather just wait. I'll lose views because of that, but I'll eventually do those. And I will be covering The Last of Us season 2. I've already watched it all, but I will be doing reviews of that probably soon here. So just keep up with that. So now to what all you guys came here for. Sorry for the rambling here. My top 10 franchises of all time. And for those of you that missed it, this list could potentially change. I didn't put a lot of thought into it. It's something I thought about a couple days ago, but I didn't think about it for hours. And then today I was like, I need to go live because going live is just fun to interact. I don't talk to a lot of people. I kind of sit in my apartment all the time since I've been working from home since March of 2020. I mean, I go see my movies, but other than that, I stick home most of the time, unfortunately. Don't go out to the bar anymore. And I could if I wanted to, but it just costs money to do that. So anyway, so this list could completely change. I might have forgot about something. I looked over it a few times and then looked over my movie collection just to make sure. The thumbnail shows a bunch of different franchises. Obviously, all the animated crap and Pixar crap. Unfortunately, some of you like that stuff. I don't. It was just a cool thing to kind of add my picture to on a thumbnail. So you won't see any of that in my ranking. But if you have it in your ranking, that's fine. But again, this list could completely change, especially if I put more thought into it. So my number 10, this is kind of a cheat because I'm not going with the whole entire universe. I'm specifically going to talk about the Avengers movies by themselves, not all the other movies, but just the Avengers movies by themselves. I think they are some of the greatest movies of all time. Like the first Avengers, which I think is a little overrated, but then you've got Age of Ultron, which has been a while since I've seen that, but I think that's a pretty good follow-up. And then, of course, you've got the epic movies like Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. And we all know that Avengers Endgame, as it stands right now, is actually my favorite movie of all time. I don't really like saying that because I feel kind of weird because it's like a Marvel movie and I'm not like a huge Marvel guy, but that movie, that experience watching that movie, when the whole universe started, I didn't really care about those characters, maybe Hulk a little bit. And Hulk is like one of my least favorite characters now, the whole universe. But those movies by themselves are epic in scale. And I'm not super excited for Doomsday because I feel like that's just going to be part one to the epicness that Secret Wars will be. I want to see the X-Men, but I don't want to see the old X-Men. Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart coming back. They've already been confirmed. I feel like they're a little old, and I don't know what they could do, and if they're even really going to be featured a lot. I'd rather see Michael Fassbender and James McAvoy as Charles Xavier and Eric Lencher, and maybe all four of them will come back. Who knows? But the Avengers movies by themselves would be my number 10. So I'll catch up on the chat, see what other people are saying here. And Brad says Infinity War over Endgame. Well, I think Infinity War is good, but then like the events of Endgame kind of to a degree cancel that out. I mean, I know the stuff in Infinity War happened, but I feel like Avengers Endgame in scale was just a bigger franchise. And again, I'm not a big MCU guy. I don't know everything about the whole universe. And I actually have thought about doing an MCU ranking, which will take some time because I'll have to rewatch all those films and the ones that I haven't seen. Like I haven't watched the new Captain America yet. I haven't watched the Marvels yet. I started watching Wakanda Forever and then I turned it off. I don't remember exactly why I turned it off, but I turned it off. So I'd have to rewatch all of those and watch the ones I haven't watched yet. And it'll take some time. It will be nothing I do anytime soon. It'll be after Fantastic Four First Steps if I do it, which it's going to be time consuming, but I kind of want to do it just to see what my thoughts would be. I definitely missed a few MCU movies. Yeah, there's too many of them, unfortunately. I am excited about the X-Men joining the MCU, but I don't know. Like now they're just going to bring back the old characters for now until after Secret Wars, then they'll have their own solo movie with different characters. I think Hugh Jackman should just stay Wolverine until he can't walk anymore. Personally, I don't know if they're going to change that, but I love Hugh coming back and staying Wolverine. Just my opinion. So, Brad must not have prepared a list, I'm guessing, or still doing anyone. So I'll go on to my number 9 here. Bear with me a second. And again, some of these placements of some of these might necessarily not be the most popular opinion, but hey, it's my list and I can do what I want. So for my number 9, I'm actually going to go with the American Pie theater releases. I think the first 4 real American Pie movies are hilarious. Obviously, American Wedding being the least entertaining of them all, but still a funny movie with amplified Stifler in that movie. But I really like those films. They're a good laugh. American Pie 2 being my favorite one, and I hear there's rumblings of American Pie 5 or American Funeral, I think they're going to call it. I think Sean William Scott has actually read the first script of it or first draft of it. And I'll definitely be watching that whenever it comes out. I liked American Reunion a lot, actually. It was one of my favorite movies in 2012. So I will definitely do a ranking of the main theater releases for that franchise. But I like it. They're hilarious. Some of the people in the franchise people don't like. I like Tara Reid. I don't think anybody else really likes her. Of course, Shannon Elizabeth, Jason Biggs, Natasha Lyonne, Chris Klein. I can't remember. Eddie K. Thomas, the one that played Finch. Stifler's mom, she might be too big for the American Pie franchise. I think the plot for American Funeral, and don't quote me on this may or may not be a spoiler, is the movie is based around her death and everybody coming together for that. I'm not 100% sure if that's the case or not, but I am looking forward to another American Pie movie because it's been too freaking long. I can't believe they haven't come out with another one yet, but I guess they want to have a good script and they don't want to make the same movie over again. So American Pie, the theater releases, none of the straight to DVD ones, is my number 9. I'm going to catch up on the chat here. All right. Hugh Jackman is one of the examples of an actor being the character. Yes. I don't have a list. I'll just criticize yours. LOL. Yeah, that's that. Hey, fine. Criticize me all you want. It's at least something somebody in the chat. American Pie is a surprise inclusion. Yeah, it's something that I looked like I wanted to have. Like I could have put the Batman franchise, but there's only really 3 Batman movies that I really, really like, and that's the Christopher Nolan trilogy. I liked the Batman a little bit, but I don't think I love it. I'll have to rewatch it again and actually stay awake for the whole fucking movie because I fall asleep during the Batman now. But I only really, really like 3 movies. And the American Pie franchise, I think the worst American Pie movie is better than the Batman. Hot take, maybe my opinion will change. Don't tell me what I can't do. A quote from John Locke, played by the great Terry Quinn, or his screen actor name is Terry O'Quinn, since somebody else named Terry Quinn was a part of the Actors Guild or whatever it is. I'm surprised in today's age they don't do another. They can do another American Pie. They'll do one. There's already a script, and Sean William Scott has recently read it. I think that's news in the past week, actually. The Batman 2 seems to be in limbo. Yeah, I don't know if I'm sure they'll come out with one. I think what's ultimately going to happen is the Penguin is actually going to get a season 2. The Penguin is pretty awesome show that's on Max or soon to be HBO Max again, which thank God. Why they named it Max doesn't make any sense, but I guess they have an HBO paid channel and they don't want to call it HBO. I would just call it like HBO Go again or something like that. That would be my take on that. But the Penguin was pretty awesome. A really good limited series. But I think there's something that they want to do a season 2, even though it wasn't necessarily planned. Sean William Scott has been pretty absent, hasn't he? I think he might have got canceled for something, but I don't know for sure. Saeed Mohammed, yeah, makes sense. I'm not sure what the makes sense is for. Possibly something to do with the American Pie franchise. Another movie. So yeah, I know that's a weird one. I included everything, not just. I think a lot of you would probably prefer that I just did horror, but I mean, there's other franchises out there that are better than some of the relatively weak horror franchises. Not saying they're all weak, but that's why I wanted to include everything. So American Pie, the straight to or the theatrical releases, not the DVD ones, would be my number 4 or number 9. Marty misspeaking. It's going to be a long night. So coming in 8th place, something that I don't know if a lot of people would guess, but I'm a huge fan of this franchise. Not all the movies, though. There are some duds, that's for sure. And I've already kind of talked about Hugh Jackman tonight, and that would be the X-Men franchise. Now, I don't really know if we should include Deadpool, Wolverine, Deadpool, and Deadpool 2. But X-Men, X-Men 2, United, X-Men 3, The Last Stand, X-Men, the First Class, X-Men Days of Future Past, X-Men Apocalypse, and X-Men, I can't remember what the other one was called now. The bad one that, what was that one called? Dark Phoenix or X-Men? I don't remember what it was, but yeah, that was a bad one. But I think the first 3 X-Men are good, with the second one being the best. The first one's okay. And the third one, some people have a love-hate relationship with it. I don't think it's terrible, but it's obviously not a strong entry in the franchise. X-Men First Class was pretty awesome. A really good cast, like Kevin Bacon, Oliver Platt are in it. And then you got X-Men Days of Future Past, which is an amazing movie and one of my favorite movies of all time. X-Men Apocalypse was, in my opinion, a letdown. That should have been so much better. And I think the problem with that is that they cast a guy that's 5'10" to play Apocalypse. And I just had a glitch. I don't know if that affected anybody else's stuff, but I just had a glitch on my StreamYard. I mean, I know they can CGI him to be bigger, but for a lot of the movie, he's walking around and like a lot of the chicks are taller than him. Apocalypse should be tall no matter what. So I had a big problem with that. And just the movie was a mess and I didn't like it. And then Dark Phoenix, I believe that's the name of the last one that they did under Fox, was not good. So yeah, I like a lot of those. The first 5 X-Men movies are at least okay to awesome. And then you have a couple duds. And Apocalypse isn't a terrible movie, but there's just some flaws with it that I say it's okay at best, probably more towards not good to okay, but that's kind of a contradiction there. But yeah, X-Men, the franchise, I'm not including the Deadpool movies, is my number 8. I don't. Do we count the Wolverine movies, X-Men Origins Wolverine and The Wolverine? If you want to count those, I actually like X-Men Origins Wolverine. I know that's an unpopular opinion. I don't remember a lot about it, though, but I feel like it wasn't bad. You had the debut as Gambit in the Fox X-Men universe, played by, what's the guy's name? He was in the movie that flopped. I can't remember his name now. It'll come to me in a Taylor Eclipsed or something like that. But yeah, so if you want to count those, they're okay as well. So again, X-Men, the whole franchise, is my number 8. Catch up on the chat and see what everybody's saying in the chat. All right. We have Brad. Yeah, they've done a lot of younger X-Men recently, it felt like. And the stream is good. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It glitched on my StreamYard. It worried me just a little bit there. So, yeah, for all the people that come and watch the replay of this, make sure you leave a comment with your thoughts if you have actually created a list. Or if you want to make fun of my list, that's fine too. Remember, opinions. Everybody can have a different opinion. But I'd like to see your list. You know, maybe if you want to make a list at a later time and put it in the chat after, or put it in the comment section, you know, a day later or something like that. Be interesting. I know we're going to have mixed opinions. You're going to have some Pixar or anime stuff on there, and that's fine. I won't know what you're talking about, really. I mean, I know Shrek, but I mean, that's all I really know. I actually have somebody that called me Shrek before. They said, we're going to start calling you Shrek. I'm like, don't call me Shrek. It was a long time ago, though, back in like 2001, 2002. My list is very short. I feel you're the legendary Crazy Coffee Man. His number 1 franchise, and I might be wrong, I might be right, would be the Bond franchise. Am I right on that one? Maybe not. I don't know. Or it'll be a Western thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. We all have different tastes. Not my cup of tea, but certainly I know a lot of people that love this stuff. So again, so far we've got, just to kind of recap the list for people that are entering late, which I don't think anybody else has entered. Avengers, the Avengers specific MCU movies is my number 10. Number 9 is the American Pie theatrical releases, not the straight to DVD ones. And number 8 is the X-Men franchise. I don't know for sure if we're going to include the X-Men Origins and the Wolverine, and of course Deadpool, Deadpool 2, and Deadpool and Wolverine. But just counting the X-Men, it's still number 8. If you want to count everything, it probably would be higher, actually, because I love Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm not the biggest fan of the 2 Deadpool movies. I don't think they're bad, but like I don't love them like everybody else seems to love them. So yeah, let's come up with Grant has another comment real quick. We stick into movie franchises, assume. Well, yeah, we can do TV shows another time. I know Brad did a live stream about his top 10 favorite TV shows of all time with a lot of honorable mentions. At some point, I'm thinking for my birthday, and I just had another glitch on StreamYard. I don't know what's going on, but I feel like everything's still running properly. On my birthday, I think I'm going to release my top 50 favorite TV shows of all time. It's going to be updated, and I think it should be a lot of fun. So hopefully it won't be too long, but on August 2nd, all of you should expect that video. I do love Bond. I don't know how I know that, but I just know that you like Bond. I saw a brief thing pop up on the screen, but it went away ASAP. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Like, it glitches real quick to catch my attention, but by the time I notice, it's gone already. So hopefully that doesn't become a problem. Fingers crossed. So let's get back to my list here. Number 7, and I debated putting this on here. I feel like if I thought about it longer, maybe I would have something else that would move all the other stuff to down 1 and then add something else to number 10. But I'm going to go with the Friday the 13th franchise. Do I love all the entries in the franchise? Absolutely not. But I feel like it's a franchise that's important to me. My mother, whether I like her or not, that's a different story. But she did raise me on horror movies. And I remember seeing Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter, when I was either 3 or 4 years old, depending on what month it was. I don't remember the month. It was actually a double feature, Ghostbusters and Friday the 13th, the final chapter. I slept mostly during Ghostbusters because there's too much. It was kind of boring. I mean, when you're 3 or 4 years old, it was kind of boring just my opinion. And this guy with a hockey mask intrigued me, but I love the final chapter. Part 2 is pretty good, although Jason with the sack head Jason annoys me. Part 5 is, I guess, okay, although I don't like it as much as everybody else does. Part 6 is good. I think it's a little overrated. I like Part 7. That's what I've always liked, and rest in peace to Lar Park Lincoln. That was really sad. It's a death that affected me. Sucks to hear that stuff. Jason Takes Manhattan is a big steaming pile of shit. Jason Goes to Hell. Ken Sledge is not good. Whether or not you really agree with Ken Sledge or not, that's your opinion, but it's not good. And then, of course, I like Jason X. I know that's not a popular opinion, although a lot of people are coming around on that. I think it's a good made-for-TV movie, even though it wasn't made for TV, but it looks like it was made for TV. And, of course, the reboot of the Friday the 13th franchise, the Friday the 13th 2009, I think that's really good, and I like a lot of characters in that, and I think the character of, I think his name is Travis, or that might be his actor's name, the one that says your tits are stupendous. Love that character. You love to hate him, but I think he's actually a really good actor, and he was in You season 3, and I think he does have an appearance in You season 5, but it's like a brief one. I like that character as well. But anyway, I like the franchise. Maybe it should be on this list. Maybe it should. I don't know. But I put that at number 7. I'll catch up on the chat a second here. All right. What do we got? Tough to narrow down to 10. So, yeah, I had a lot of honorable mentions. And that's fine. That's why I make really long lists, so I don't have to have honorable mentions. I think I can come up with the top 50 for sure. I actually have a list already of a bunch of shows that I've watched, but then you have to kind of differentiate of, okay, where do I put this one when I only watched a few seasons of it, but I really liked what I watched, but just didn't have time to finish it. Like 24. I was watching 24, and then I fell off, and I really liked what I saw, but where do I rank that based on 2 seasons plus like 7 or 8 episodes? So that'll be tough. Where's my list at for that? Okay, this is a really quick list that I kind of made one day in like 5 to 10 minutes, but there's just a list of shows that I wrote down. Very quickly. Didn't take a lot of time, just of shows, and I came up with way more than 50. So I need to watch all the Friday the 13th movies, still surprisingly. I mean, it's tough to watch some of them, like Jason Takes Manhattan. And I guess I didn't talk about Friday the 13th Part 3. It's okay. Or Friday the 13th 3D, as some people want to call it. I feel like it's a bit overrated, though, in my opinion. I saw Kane Hodder yesterday. Cool. I don't love Kane Hodder as Jason Voorhees. I feel like the best Jason Voorhees is probably the guy from Ted White from Part 4. But Kane is certainly the most memorable because he was in the most movies. I have met him before, too, but I've never actually stood in line for his line. He's always been next to somebody else I met. Just, somebody that's always in a mask, to me. I mean, it's cool meeting him, but, And a fun fact, my friend Michelle, who's a crazy horror person, always wondered, why does Kane Hodder walk around with gloves on? There goes the glitch again. And if you didn't know, Kane Hodder had a serious burn on his hands before. So if Kane Hodder walks around with gloves on. So if you didn't know, now you know. It feels like I'm not centered right now. Interesting. Adjust my positioning here. All right, time to get back to the list. And after this is over with, we'll probably talk about Dexter because we got the legendary Crazy Coffee Man in here and we got Brad here. I don't want to stay on too long because I got to go to bed by 12:40 Central Time. So I'll go till at least midnight, unless, of course, I ramble too long. But I can't stay all night, unfortunately. But I got StreamYard free for a week, so maybe I'll try to stream every day this week. And then I'll get it again. I want to do a Dexter Resurrection trailer reaction, and that'll be through StreamYard because now my internet's working where if I open multiple windows, it's not freezing. Of course, you never know. Yeah, I didn't go to his line, but walked by him a billion times. Okay, yeah, I want to know who you met on there. I saw the picture that you posted, but I wasn't sure who that was. But it's always fun to go to cons. As I mentioned before in one of your streams, I'll be going to Days of the Dead in Illinois in November. I believe it's November 21st. Don't quote me on that. Let me look at the date here. Come on, calendar. Yep, November 21st. And as it stands right now, and people can, schedules can change, people can cancel, but Danielle Fishel of Boy Meets World, Topanga, will be there, and I want to meet Danielle Fishel. So that will be fun. Yep, he had his gloves. Yep, he always does. 10-hour stream. I wouldn't mind doing a 10-hour stream when I should have done a stream yesterday, but I was like being lazy yesterday, like watching random movies, but then pausing them and watching different YouTube videos. Then I go back to my movie. Yeah, it took me and then I had to, watch a couple episodes for work, for my review videos. So it took me forever. 10-hour stream. I could do it, but I got to have people on the stream with me. If I have people on the stream with me, I can talk and take a break. I'm fine with that. So if you guys want to collaborate and get on here, I almost sent both of you invites for this, but it's kind of last minute because I know you probably have your strong opinions on this. So since T. Parker Evans just joined the chat, I'll catch T. Parker up if he hasn't been paying attention. Maybe he has, but my number 10 favorite franchise of all time is going to be not the MCU, but the Avengers specific MCU movie. So Avengers Age of Ultron, Avengers Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame. Love those movies. Why do I keep getting off center here? Number 9 is going to be the American Pie theatrical releases, not the straight to DVD ones, but the theatrical releases of American Pie. Number 8 is the X-Men movies. Now, I didn't include all of them. I could, though. If I include all of them, it's probably going to go up. But just the X-Men, X2, X3, X-Men First Class, X-Men Days of Future Past, X-Men Dark Phoenix, X-Men Apocalypse. That's a reverse order there. I didn't include X-Men Origins Wolverine, The Wolverine, Deadpool, Deadpool 2, and Deadpool and Wolverine. I love Deadpool and Wolverine, by the way. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. And then my number 7, T. Park will be happy by this, is Friday the 13th. Thought about not putting that on there, but it's got some significance to me, and I have to include Friday the 13th. And my eye is starting to get blurry. Always happens. My left eye has issues. Nothing bad. It just has issues. I don't know. Not being a conspiracy theorist, but I've had issues with my left eye ever since I got the first vaccine of COVID. Never got one after that, but it's nothing that hurts or anything. I just have like eye boogers constantly all day, but they're like sticky eye boogers, and it makes my eye like blurry or shut. It's like forms at the bottom of my eye, like my eyelid. So that's long story short. Yeah. So I think it's time. Well, we'll catch up on the chat now. I heard Dexter. Yeah, I don't really have any new information, but we can kind of rehash the theories that we've talked about already. Yeah. Dexter against Sweet Pea. Well, obviously Dexter wins. Sweet Pea is. I do recommend, if you haven't watched Sweet Pea already, T. Parker Evans and Brad Hawk Talk, to check out Sweet Pea. It's with Ella Purnell from the Fallout. It's pretty, and Yellow Jackets. It's pretty entertaining. It's obviously not quite Dexter, but it's the female version of Dexter, but she's really sloppy, and I liked it. Usually I don't like shows that take place in London or England or whatever, or Europe, but that one I did like. I guess I just have a thing for Ella Purnell. That was my wife, just posted up in front of the logo. I didn't do any of the lines, but went to a few panels. Okay. I thought that was a celebrity then. So, all right. That was your wife. Good to know. Welcome, T. Parker Evans. Yes. And in the chat right now, we have T. Parker Evans and the legendary Crazy Kaufman, who are moderators on this channel. So make sure you stay in line. Otherwise, they will ban you. Or they won't. I don't know. I don't care, but they're awesome. Hey, y'all. Brad Hawk Talk, Crazy Kaufman. Yep. All right. So finally, done rambling. Time to get into my next entry, which is my number 6. And some of you would probably laugh. Kamala Harris would probably cackle. Is going to be the Fast and the Furious franchise. I know not all these movies are good, and they went to fucking space in part 9, Fast 9. But some of these entries in this franchise I really like. The original Fast and the Furious movies is good. I don't think it's an epic movie by any points. It's more of just a heist movie with no crazy action sequences, but I like it. Fast and the Furious are Too Fast, Too Furious. I didn't like. I've only watched it one time. Maybe my opinion will change when I watch it before I watch the new one, whenever that comes out, I think next summer. Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift is actually entertaining. You just have to watch it. Fast and Furious, I really like. Not a lot of people like that one. I think it's really good, and it gets, it really kind of goes into Dominic Toretto and Brian O'Connor's character. Like it's it goes into them and then get the band back together. Fast Five, epic freaking action movie. A little far-fetched at points, but I mean, look at the other action franchises out there. John Wick, Mission Impossible, they do the same stuff. So it's not no worse than those. Fast and the Furious 6, I like it. At one point, it was my favorite entry in the franchise. This freaking keeps glitching. It's driving me nuts. Furious 7, I feel like that's when they started to get a little way too far-fetched, but it's still a good movie. Obviously, the touching ending of what happens to Brian O'Connor, Paul Walker's character, as he died during filming. So they have like a send-off to his character, similar to what Final Destination did for the character of William Bloodsworth in it. So yeah, it's a very touching scene. One of the only times that I've teared up during the movie. It wasn't a big tear. It was like quick tear, and then I wiped my eye, and that was over with. But it was touching. I was a big fan of Paul Walker. I like a lot of stuff that he's done, and it was sad to hear a guy like him. He was a really nice guy from what I've heard and read, and it sucks that he unfortunately died in, I believe, November of 2013, somewhere around there. So yeah, and then after that, we had Fast and the Furious 8, or Fate of the Furious. That was okay. I think it gets a little bit hated on much, but I think it was okay. Fast 9 was bad. Fast X was actually good, and Jason Momoa plays a character named, I believe, Dante, if I remember correctly, and it reminds me of Heath Ledger's Joker. So I really liked Fast X. So looking forward to the next installment of the Fast and the Furious franchise. It might be called Fast X Part 2. And I don't care what you say. I like the Fast and the Furious can't talk now. I like the Fast and the Furious franchise, so it's my opinion. Catch up on the chat here. Let me take this banner off. All right. What do we got? Oh, where do we leave off at here? In all seriousness, Fast F1 through F7 are all a good time. Sad stuff with Paul Walker, too, yeah. I think Fate of the Furious isn't bad. I mean, it's missing, Paul Walker's character. And it's when a lot of the drama started between Dwayne Johnson and Vin Diesel. But I don't think it's a bad movie. It's a little far-fetched on what they do. But I don't think it's terrible. My opinion, of course. Fourth one I didn't like as much. Not many people do. I seem to be the only one that really holds 4 in a high regard. That was the first one I saw in the theater. Actually, I don't know. I just really like 4. Like, concentrated more on Dominic Toretto, Brian O'Connor, and Mia. Was it Mia Toretto? His sister, played by Jordana Brewster. I think that's what. The See You Again ending was well done and super sad. Yeah, it was. It was sad, although I think they're going to ruin it. I sense that they're going to bring Brian back in the final scene of the franchise, him coming to join them for dinner. Obviously, it won't be Paul Walker, but one of his brothers probably, and then maybe something CGI'd over it or something like that. So I don't think we've seen the last of Brian O'Connor in the Fast and the Furious franchise. Haven't seen Fast X yet. It's not bad. It's good. Jason Momoa plays the villain, and I think he's really good. If you do end up watching that, make sure you watch through the mid-credits, because there is a mid-credits scene. Still haven't seen any of the Fast and the Furious movies or Fast movies. I take it you probably haven't seen any of the Mission Impossible movies yet either, because I looked on Letterboxd and you haven't given ready for either of them. I'm very interested to see what your opinions would be on those. It's wild they go from stealing DVD players to driving in space. Yeah. Ludo goes from a wave racist to a super genius. Tej is a good character, though. I like Tej. Yeah, I know it's changed quite a bit. I get it. It turned into a crazy blockbuster franchise. It's still just, a heist movie. Always got to drink my liquids during streams. My drinks of choice tonight are going to be Aquafina and my orange Gatorade. I saw the one with Jason Momoa. It's not bad. I think it's a good entry in the franchise. Certainly much better than Fast 9. I'll say that. Or is it called Fast 9, the Fast Saga, I believe? Get the official title of the movie. But I like Fast X. It was one of my favorite movies of 2020, whatever year it came out, 2023. I can't remember exactly where it placed, but it was I had fun with Fast X. I had a lot of fun with it. No one stays dead, too, LOL. No, not in the Fast and Furious franchise. Not no more. Yeah, I haven't seen any of the Mission Impossible films, but I've seen Final Destination Bloodlines 4 times in the theater already. 4 times? Really? I don't think it's that good. I don't even want to see it again. I mean, the only part, I mean, I don't know. It was okay. I mean, obviously, the best part of the movie is the William Bloodsworth scene, I think, hands down. But I don't think it's one of those things that, like, I don't really need to watch it again. I will eventually, I'm sure, but it's not like on my radar to watch again. Like, I don't have to watch it again. I'll watch it again when when another movie comes out to re-rank the franchise. Shout out to your drinks. Yep. Geez, that's a ton. Final Destination Bloodlines is my Scream 6. I don't think Final Destination is a bad, I guess you didn't say Scream 6 is a bad movie. You still give it 3.5 out of 5, if I remember correctly. I don't know. There's parts of it that are really good. I feel like they should have kept the character of Eric, if I believe his name was, the one that's played by Richard Harmon. I feel like he should have been kept around, but that's just me. I have to have things my way. So I think it's time to get into the next entry on this ranking here. T. Parker Evans will be happy, but be sad. Or be mad. He'll probably want to cancel me for this, so maybe I should get the cancel button ready. But it's only my number 5. My number 5 is going to be the Halloween franchise. I debated also putting this on here, but I feel like it's a franchise that has a lot of different movies. Is it 13 movies now? I'm losing track of how many movies. 10, yes, 13 movies of the Halloween franchise. And I like a lot of them. I don't love a lot of them. The only one I think I truly, really love is Halloween 4, the Return of Michael Myers. Where's the poster at? It's hidden behind something up here. I don't remember where I hid the poster. I put something else in front of it. But it's I love that movie. Halloween 5, the Revenge of Michael Myers, Tina. Ugh. Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers is okay to good. Then you have the other cut, which I know I watched on a live stream with T. Parker and Ken Sledge. I probably have to watch that without watching a chat or anything, but it was good. The original Halloween 1978, it's okay. I think it's a little bit overrated. To me, it's kind of boring. Cancel. Yeah, I'll cancel myself for that because I know you're not happy with that. Halloween 2, I like Halloween 2. It's got more action in it, in my opinion. Season of the Witch, I don't really consider that a Halloween movie. I never have liked that one. I've tried to watch it many times. I think I've watched Season of Witch now 5 times, 3 in the past 5 years, and 3 times in the past 5 years. I just don't like it. And then going into Halloween, H2O, that's okay. Although rewatching it, I didn't like H2O anymore. It reminds me too much of Scream, but a really sloppy Scream movie. Resurrection, yeah, that's dog shit. Ashley Sledge still bothers me to this day that she says, it's good, I can have fun with it. How can you have fun with Halloween Resurrection? Good God, that movie sucks. Ugh. I get so defensive about that. I don't like Resurrection. I think I'm mad at it for Buster Rhymes. Buster Rhymes made a comment one day before it came out in the theater. They talked about, brothers don't usually do good in these movies. They usually die. And, does your character meet the same fate? He's like, hell no, I beat Michael Myers' ass. And I got annoyed by that because that actually spoiled the movie that he does survive in the movie. So I don't know. I've never liked Resurrection. If you like Resurrection, it's your opinion. Ashley Sledge. But I've never liked it. And then Halloween number 9 would be the Rob Zombie. The first one, it's okay. There's parts I like. There's parts I don't like. Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's version. I like some of it. I think it's super intense, a few scenes in it. And then you have the David Gordon Green Halloween, Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends. Halloween is okay. Halloween Kills is epic, although I didn't like it as much as I used to. And then Halloween Ends, well, let's just not talk about that. I don't want to upset T. Parker Evans. So, yeah, the Halloween franchise, I've invested so much time into it. And, people, I think there's Halloween fanatics out there. that think, oh, you're not a Halloween fan. And do know that I'm 44 years old, almost 45. I owned all of those original films on VHS, and I used to watch those all the time. Those, the Friday the 13th movies, the Leprechaun movies. Yes, the Leprechaun movies. I know those are terrible. I only had the first 3 of those, but I've watched probably the first 7 Halloween movies at least 25 to 40 times. Like I've watched them over and over and over again. It's not like I'm some guy that just started watching these movies. I've been watching them since I was a kid. I watched them all when they came out on VHS, or I saw them in the theater. So I have an opinion on the franchise. It's not that I don't deserve to have an opinion on these franchises that some people like. You don't like the original Halloween? I like it, but I don't think it's that great. I know, canceled. T. Parker, yes, I'm canceled. So yeah, anyway, enough rambling about Halloween. That's why that one is in 5th place for me, and I know I should be canceled for that ludicrous statement. So I'm going to catch up on the chat. Sorry I'm rambling here. Geez, that's a ton. I don't remember what that comment was. Yeah, I saw it. That already. Okay, I saw Final Destination 6 with different people for each watch. Okay. Do they all love it like you do? It's good. I feel like it's just like you watch it once and then you don't need to watch it for a few years. But that's my top 5. I'll allow it. Okay, that's good. I put it ahead of Friday the 13th. Usually, I never thought I'd ever put Halloween in front of Friday the 13th, but I think the Halloween movies in general are better. Although there's a few Friday films that I like. The Part 4, the final chapter, and the remake. Those are good, but the rest of them are okay or bad. Cancellation deserved. I haven't seen all the Halloweens, but it wouldn't touch my top 5 or even top 10. Yeah. Sloppy. Scream? I think you were thinking of Scream 6. No. Yes, I know the third act of Scream 6 has issues, but I still love it. Maybe my opinion will change. I'm due for a rewatch soon. I guess whenever Scream 7 announces it's going to come out, we'll see, but might be this year. Maybe I'll watch. I've had an itch to watch some of the Scream movies. Not all of them. Do I really need to watch the first 2 Scream movies? No, I know where my opinion is on those. I probably will watch them, though. But I definitely want to watch 6 again and 5. I think my opinion is going to change on 5. Just like thinking about 5 more, that is actually like better than I remember. Although my initial reaction of Scream 5 or Scream 2022 or Scream, I didn't like that as much. Like I was kind of like, kind of like my opinion on Final Destination. But the more I watched it, the more I liked it. So you'll come around. Season of the Witch and Halloween Ends one day. They always do. I don't think I'll like Season of the Witch ever. I mean, I get it. I try to watch it. Like I watched that first when I did my last Halloween ranking, and I just don't like it. I don't know. I don't think I'll ever come around to that. Ends has points that I like. Why does this keep glitching? They did. We all agree it's an 8 out of 10. Well, that's good. I'm glad that you have people that enjoy it with you. Always rewatch Scream 2. I've seen Scream 2 so many times, though. I want to see you somehow do a 180 on Scream 2. Actually, that's a funny story because I did that once. I don't remember when it was, but there was one time I watched Scream 2. I don't remember the condition of watching it, what I was doing. I want to say it was around like 2000, in between 2000 and 2005, where I watched Scream 2. And I'm like, that was boring. Why'd I waste my time with that? That was the only time I had that opinion. I never changed my ranking. I didn't really have a ranking at that point in time, but there was one time that I watched it and said it would drag a little bit. I don't remember the circumstances. Maybe I was tired. I don't know. That will be the end of the world. Well, it is the end of the world because at one point I did reverse my opinion. I didn't hate it. I just thought, it's kind of boring. All right. Getting into the list and the ranking again, and then we can talk about Dexter for about an hour. Come on. My number 4 is going to be the Mission Impossible franchise. Just got done watching all those over again and in preparation to watch the newest installment of the Mission Impossible franchise, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. This is a very underrated franchise for me. I've never really loved it, but when I rewatched them a couple of years ago, I started liking it. But now I think I love the franchise. It's very possible that my opinion will change and I won't like it as much, but I think it's a very solid franchise, and it certainly deserves everything that it gets. Tom Cruise is a fucking maniac. The stunts that he does, the crazy stuff that he does, are just insane. The stunts that he does for these films. Since T. Parker hasn't seen them, I don't know if Brad's seen them. I don't think he's seen them either. Maybe the legendary Crazy Coffee Man will have an opinion on it, but if he doesn't, I can just kind of move on to my next choice. But Mission Impossible is going to be my number 4. Catch up on the chat. Nobody has anything new to say. All right. In third place for me, as my lips are getting a bit dry here, put a little Carmex on them. Third place, my second favorite horror franchise of all time is going to be the Saw franchise. I know that these films, entries of the franchise, aren't the greatest. Saw 2 is amazing. Saw 4, I like it more than people do. Saw, the original Saw is okay. I feel like it's a bit overrated, though. Saw 3, I like it more than I used to like it. Saw 6, I think, is overrated. I hate Saw 5. Saw 7, I like some of the concept of it, but there's bad parts of that. Saw X was pretty good. And then, of course, Spiral, which is bad. I'm naming more okay to bad films in the franchise, but I really love the franchise. I like how it all connects. And it's just, I have fun watching the Saw movies. Even if they're not the best movies, I like how there's a twist that actually makes sense. Oh, I forgot Jigsaw. I like Jigsaw more than some do. I know there's flaws in it, but I enjoyed it the last time I watched it more than others do. Like Nick from the Lost River Drive, and that says that's the worst. I believe he said that's the worst movie he's ever watched. That's part of the horror genre. Top take, certainly, but he's certainly, he's certainly able to say that. He has his opinions. Let's see here. Catch up on the chat. MI is just meh for me, but I need to watch more. Pure Action isn't my go-to. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting a little annoyed with some action movies that just do the same action sequence over and over again. Because if that happens, like these scenes last too long, I start to nod off of it. Now, me nodding off is like closing my eyes, maybe snoring for like a minute. But so I've had that happen before. I did close my eyes during Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. I never actually went to sleep, but I did close my eyes for points of the movie. How was Mission Impossible 8 as a finale? We're not 100% sure it's a finale, although it seems like it's very possible it is. I have mixed opinions on it. I mean, for a movie, it's really good. There's some things that I wish would have happened that didn't. A character, I think, we don't have a character, like the character just kind of walks off and doesn't like have any live happily ever after moments. Like he's risked his life for, the MI, the Force, MIF, and like there's no happy ending to speak. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I don't want to give any spoilers because I do want T. Parker Evans to watch it. Saw has a special place in my heart. It's my version of what Halloween or Friday the 13th is to others. Hey, Saw is my second favorite horror franchise of all time. I love the Saw movies. Although, I love the Saw franchise. I don't love all the movies. I freaking hate Saw 5. I think the main reason why I hate Saw 5, and I don't know if everybody knows this, is my eyes blurry. Let's kind of look at this. This is what's in my eye all the time. This is what I deal with on a daily basis. I know it's kind of gross. Sorry if I just grossed you out. But yeah, it's constantly not all the time, but a lot of time. So, Saw 5, the tagline of the movie is "You won't believe how it ends." And the movie ends with a guy in a box, a guy's in a box, and then a guy gets crushed in between walls. And I was expecting this epic ending. And to me, my opinion, that's a letdown for an ending. My opinion. So that's why I've always hated Saw 5. Never really liked the character of Peter Strahm. I do like Hoffman. I think I like Hoffman a lot compared to some people. Hoffman's one of my favorite characters in the franchise. I don't know why I keep saying I didn't prepare a lot of information, so I have to my mind has to figure stuff out. So yeah, I hate Saw 5. It's one of my least favorite movies of all time, well, horror wise, if you want to consider the Saw movies horror. Went to Shawnee Smith's panel yesterday, although it was on the Blob. LOL. She's in a Blob movie. Okay. I've met Shawnee Smith before. There was Horror Hound 2019 had a crazy amount of people that I wanted to meet. And I only, like, it had like a crazy, crazy amount. You had Nev Campbell, David Arquette, Matthew Lillard, which I've already met Nev Campbell and David Arquette. No, Nev Campbell and Matthew Lillard. I've already met Matthew Lillard is hands down the coolest celebrity of all time. Like my friend who had her tits hanging out essentially, and she's in line after me. And like, you know, he's talking to me for a while. He finally goes over to her, and then he comes back over to me to start talking to me again. And she's like, "What is going on here? Like, does he like you?" And I don't know. He apparently does. He really liked the shirt I was wearing. I was wearing, if you were familiar with wrestling, it was a Kevin Owens shirt that's black with silver, Fight Owens Fight. And he really liked that shirt and wanted to ask me a bunch of questions about it. But it was an interesting experience. But yeah, the Scream people, Jamie Kennedy, Rose McGowan, who I didn't meet there. But then you had other people like Shannon Elizabeth, Elizabeth Berkley from Saved by the Bell. Trying to recall the people that were there. It's hard to remember. You had Dina Meyer from Saw 1, 2, and 3, as well as Starship Troopers. And you also had Shawnee Smith. Tobin Bell was there too. I stood in line for Tobin Bell's to get Tobin Bell, but he took so long to sign things because he's old. At the time, he's probably late 70s, and now he's like early 80s, mid 80s at this point. So yeah, there's a lot of people there, and it's like, and then that was like my first big con. So I didn't know that the ATMs are always run out of money. So I only brought a certain amount of money with me, and then that was it. So I wish I would have had like a couple thousand to spend on that. Unfortunately, I was only able to spend like, was it 700 or 800, something like that. It was a very expensive con. Hopefully I never have to go through one of those again because it was a lot of money that I had to spend. Anyway, I heard the action was good, but the story kind of sucked. Well, the first hour of the movie, there's a lot of dialogue, a lot of like flashbacks to other movies in the franchise, like basically making the audience think that they're dumb. Like it's dumb that, hey, we got to let the audience remember this scene. So that's kind of what they did. Saw 5 is definitely my least favorite of the original 7. Yeah, it's bad. I hate it. My next least favorite would be probably Saw the Final Chapter. And I know there's a lot of holes with Saw the Final Chapter, but I still like it. Spiral and Jigsaw are the only bad films. The rest are decent or great in quality. I don't know, man. Saw 5 is not good. I was always bummed when they killed the characters I liked Doug Matthews, Allison Carey, and Peter Strahm. Yeah, I loved Detective Matthews is actually my favorite character in the franchise. I did like Allison Carey too. I feel like Allison Carey should have had her own movie in the franchise. Like Officer Rig is cool, but I feel like she should have had a movie before he did. My opinion. I felt like she kind of just got killed off randomly. I didn't expect her to get killed off so quickly. Whoop. Saw 5 ain't that bad. Julie Benz is in it. Yes, I know Julie Benz is in it. I don't like Julie Benz. After meeting her, like she wasn't mean or anything, but she's just very like, I don't care if I'm late to my booth. I was busy sort of thing. I don't know. I'm more mad at Julie Benz than I've ever been before. You think I was Team Hannah before? Good God. Oh, there's my Hannah reference. You knew it was going to happen eventually. The trap sequence in Saw 5 was so bad. Very obvious collab setup. Yeah. Yeah, it's not a good entry. Spiral is my bottom tier, barely a Saw film. Yeah, that's true. Do I have my Saw ranking saved on this computer? Just want to go back to see where I put Spiral. I don't think it's on here though. It is not. Hang on, let me check one other thing. Oh, maybe it is. Nope. Damn it. I wanted to check my Saw ranking. I'd have to look at my other computer that I had stuff on. I change desktops a lot. Like I go through desktops like crazy. I get one like every year. And somehow some of my files got deleted on my new one. So I just kind of like, I don't need those files. Team Rita and Team Rita and always will be. Okay, well, meet Julie Benz someday and maybe your opinion will change. I'm not saying she was rude or mean. I just felt like she was like, out of all the celebrities I've met, she's definitely at the bottom. Another celebrity that would surprise some people. Someday I'm going to rank all the celebrities I've met. I even have a document that I made of all the celebrities I've met thus far, which I thought was a lot. But then when I looked at it again, it's not that many compared to some people. Like some people meet like 5 or 6 at every con they go to. I meet like 2 or 3. But I want to rank all the celebrities. But Julie Benz is at the bottom, and maybe in my opinion, if I meet her again, would change. I feel like I wore a I Love Dexter shirt, and she didn't acknowledge it at all. Like I felt like she should have acknowledged my shirt and the fact that she was late. It's like she left. Like I got there and she wasn't there. She left for like an hour and a half. They're only supposed to have an hour max lunch. And her and Rebecca Gayheart, although Rebecca Gayheart was more apologetic about it and like really nice, where Julie Benz was kind of like, let's get to business here. I don't really want to talk to people. Like I'm not one of those people that are going to sit there and chit chat with somebody for a while, but I don't know. But Chris Jericho. So I met Chris Jericho in October of 2004. It was at a bar. Him, Triple H, Dave Bautista, and Ric Flair were all there. And like Chris Jericho at the time was my favorite of all those 4. And he's the one that arrived, like the last person to arrive. Like I'm getting a drink, and all of a sudden he walks up. I'm like, oh shit, Chris Jericho. And I'm like, I know you're busy right now, but do you mind a picture at some point? He's like, yeah, after I finished my drink. Well, he drank like 8 drinks while I was there, and never once did I get that picture that he had promised me. So I'm a little annoyed with Chris Jericho. Now, he wasn't mean. He just like kept playing me essentially. So not a Chris Jericho fan anymore because of that. So anyway, let's get back to the list. I only got a couple left. I wonder if you guys can guess what my number 2 is. So my number 2 is not the Saw franchise. It's not a horror franchise, but my favorite franchise, non-horror related of all time, is hands down the Rocky / Creed franchise. I'm a massive Sylvester Stallone fan. He is easily my favorite actor of all time by far. And the Rocky movies, while I think some of them are overrated, like everybody loves the original Rocky from I think 76. I don't love the original Rocky. I don't think it's a bad movie, but it's a little overrated in my opinion. I kind of get bored of it. I think there's one good scene, and that's when like Paulie's yelling at Adrian at Paulie's house. Uncle Paulie, played by Burt Young. Rest in peace, Burt Young. But Rocky 2, amazing. Rocky 3, it's okay. Rocky 4, I fucking love Rocky 4. The more I watch it now, it's awesome. Rocky 5, obviously the worst one in the franchise, but you're talking about a good movie still, just the worst in this franchise. Rocky Balboa, pretty awesome. We went to go see that on Christmas Day of 2006, I want to say. And then you go into the Creed franchise, Creed 1, Creed 2, both with Sylvester Stallone. Creed 1, out of nowhere hit, in my opinion. Loved it. Creed 2 made Rocky 4 even better. And then you have Creed 3, which does not have Sylvester Stallone. And coincidentally enough, I don't like Creed 3. And I know there's going to be a Creed 4. Not sure if Stallone's going to come back or not, but the Rocky franchise, awesome franchise. Love it. And that's why that's my number 2. All right. Brad Hawk Talk. I got a picture with Jericho previously, him and Cody Rhodes. Okay. I'm sure he was. I feel like maybe because you probably met him at a meet and greet and I met him at a bar. So maybe the circumstances. I'm not saying he was rude or anything. I'm just saying that he promised me a picture. And I even mentioned, hey, I'm about to leave, sir. You got time for that picture? Let me finish this drink. Like, dude, you said that like 9 times now. So I was just a little annoyed, but I get it. Maybe, looking back on that in 2004, I was 24 years old. And now I'm, 20 years older. I have more respect for people when they're, not there to, take pictures and sign autographs. So Tulsa King. Okay. I tried to watch that and like, I don't know, I was bored of it, but I wasn't 100% paying attention to Tulsa King. So it's definitely something that I should try to put on and not have any other distractions. You're still here. I'm glad you're still here because we're going to start the Dexter talk for about, we'll see, 40, 45 minutes or so. Haven't seen the Creeds, but Rocky through Rocky Balboa are great. Yeah, I agree. Although I think Rocky from 76 is a bit overrated. Hot take, I know. Just everybody loves the original Rocky, and I don't think it's that great. But the sequel is awesome, in my opinion. I used to love Rocky 4, but on a recent watch, I wasn't impressed. I thought it was my favorite, but it's pretty much just 1 to 2 hours of montage. Yeah, but the soundtrack is awesome. Hearts on Fire, and just the the fight with Ivan Drago, and he's so much bigger. And like I didn't realize that Stallone actually wanted to get hit for real in these movies. Like some of it's choreographed, but some of it's real. A lot of scenes with Drago were real, which is crazy. That some of the punches that he took, but I mean, I love Rocky IV. That's my favorite of the franchise right now. I always loved Rocky II, and that fell a little bit, but I still love Rocky II, especially when Adrian wakes up from her coma and she's like, Rocky, I want you to do one thing. Huh? Win. Huh? Win. Well, what are we waiting for? Love that scene. I do dig the soundtrack. Yeah, it's got an awesome soundtrack. So, I mean, do we really need to know what my favorite franchise of all time is? I'm sure T. Parker Evans knows what it is. I'm sure Brad knows what it is. Maybe the legendary Crazy Kaufman is probably like Dexter. Well, that's not a movie franchise. But I guess I'll put it on there. And we don't really need to talk about it a lot. But my favorite franchise of all time is, let's see if everybody guesses. I always played that Rocky II scene at sporting events. Okay. Scream. Scream is not my favorite franchise of all time. I don't know what you guys are thinking. You know I don't like Scream. Avatar. The Avatar franchise is awesome. And my favorite franchise is Scream. Obviously, you all know I love the Scream franchise. There's not a bad movie in the franchise, with Scream 3 at the moment being the worst one, although my opinion could change on that. We'll see what my most recent rewatch, or when I do rewatch them all in preparation for Scream 7, will be. Hopefully they call it Scream 7 and not something else. I want it to just be Scream and the number 7, not Roman numeral 7 either. But Scream is, it means so much to me as a franchise. And if you want to hear more about my Scream fandom, me and T. Parker Evans did a live stream where we talked about our history with the Scream franchise. If you go to my page and go to the tabs, go to live, you can hear all about my love for the Scream franchise and T. Parker Evans' love of the Scream franchise. So there you have it. There's my ranking of my favorite franchises of all time. Again, this was a list done very quickly, so it's possible that my opinion would change on these at any given point in time. Just to recap them in case somebody that was new to the chat late. Number 10 is the Avengers specific MCU movies. Number 9 is the American Pie theatrical releases. Number 8 is the X-Men franchise, not necessarily including the 2 solo Wolverine movies, and then the Deadpool 2 and Deadpool Wolverine. But if you do include those, I still love it. Although I'm not the biggest fan of the Deadpool solo movies. They're okay, but I don't love them like everybody else does. Number 7 is Friday the 13th. Number 6 is the Fast and Furious. Number 5 is the Halloween franchise. Number 4 is Mission Impossible franchise. Number 3, the Saw franchise. Number 2, the Rocky/Creed franchise. And number 1 is the Scream franchise, obviously. So hope you guys all enjoyed the stream of talking about my favorite franchises of all time. I'll try to do more streams. It just costs money, but right now it doesn't. I might do 1 or 2 more or a bunch more this week because I want to get my use of this free StreamYard access. Although these glitches are making me think maybe I don't want StreamYard. Maybe try out some of the other StreamYard or the other free streaming stuff. Brad mentioned one of them. I can't remember what the name of it was. So we'll see. I just have to have stuff to talk about. I don't want to rehash stuff that I've already talked about many times. I post so many fucking videos that, that's the problem with me, that I already just talk about something. So, we got never saw Avatar 2. I watched that Christmas of 2022 actually in the theater, and I actually stayed awake for the whole thing. I was surprised because I thought for sure that I'd fall asleep because it was a 10 p.m. showing, I think, or was it 12 p.m.? No, it was 10 p.m. showing. Oh shit, didn't realize when I clicked the notification this was live. How's it going, Jay? Good. And actually, I'm glad you're here, Troy. So I'm having issues with the UFC now. I'm getting a little sick of the matchmaking and the fighters not wanting to fight, like Islam Makhachev not wanting to fight, Ilia Topuria. John Jones ducking Tom Aspinall. I don't think he's really ducking him. I just think he wants to fight when he wants to fight. So I'm going to be a little bit more selective on my fights cards that I order. So at the moment, I don't plan on ordering O'Malley versus Merab Dvalishvili. And I don't, at the moment, plan on ordering Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway 3. That could change, but I'm going to scale back on the UFC stuff. Maybe I'll still do prediction videos, at least for the time being, until if I really stop watching a lot. I don't know much about the fighters because I don't want to do a lot of homework. But yeah, just at the moment, I plan on ordering the late June card because I do want to see Oliveira versus Taporia, although I think Taporia is going to win. But I'm going to scale back, at least at the moment, on UFC events because they're not. Another reason why is because I think they're not worth the money that I'm paying for them. Like some of the cards aren't as good, in my opinion. So anyway, enough about UFC stuff. A little late, I see. A little bit. Better late than never, yes. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'll need to tinker more with VDO Ninja. OBS alone works as solo, okay? Me too. That's why I sail the seas, but I don't do vids, okay? I only saw Avatar once in theaters when I was 12 and enjoyed how similar it was to Pocahontas and didn't care to watch the sequel. The sequel is not bad, actually. I liked Way of the Water. But when I tried to rewatch it, I fell asleep, of course. Didn't surprise me that I'd fall asleep. That may make a difference. So, yeah, UFC stuff, I probably going to scale back. I say that, and I'll probably order them, but at the moment, my intention is not to order the next UFC event and not to order Poirier versus Holloway. Like, I want to see Poirier Holloway 3, but from what I know, the card, other than that, doesn't have anything that I'm even mildly interested on. Anyway, I know a lot of you don't like UFC that I know of, so it's over 3 hours past. But T. Parker, what if Final Destination Bloodlines was 3 hours? Would you still have the same opinion? So I guess I know Troy's in the chat, which Troy, I don't know what Troy's love. I think he likes Dexter. Obviously, a lot of you subscribe to my channel for Dexter content. So if anybody, I don't really have anything prepared to talk about for Dexter. I can only stay for, I mean, I could stay till 12:30 my time, but realistically, I probably want to get off at about 12 so I can have a half an hour to do whatever I need to do and then go to bed. Although I don't know if I'll really go to bed at 12:30. Probably go to bed more towards 1. And Nightmare on Elm Street is my favorite franchise. Yes, some of them aren't the greatest, but I love them all. All right, I want to address that actually. So Nightmare on Elm Street or Nightmare on Elm Street, I've watched all the movies in that franchise. I've watched them all at least once. I've seen Freddy versus Jason many times, although I don't really like that one. I forgot to talk about that one when I talked about Friday the 13th. But I haven't watched a lot of them since they came out on VHS. So I've tried to watch some of them, and I just don't like the franchise at the moment. I need to make a video of doing a ranking of that franchise, though, because I think it'd be important to have it on the channel. I tried to rewatch them all, I think, at the end of 2021. I got through the first 3. I didn't like the original Nightmare. I actually like Freddy's Revenge more out of all the first 3. I know that's a very unpopular opinion, and it's possible that that opinion will change. But I do want to rewatch all those, hopefully, and do a ranking of those just because I'm a ranking guy. I mean, I'm not a Sean Chandler, but I've always loved to rank things like for a long time, like the past, I don't know, 30 years. I've loved to rank things in order from my least favorite to my favorite. So I've been praying for a 3-hour Halloween or Scream film. So yes, 3-hour Final Destination film, please. I don't know about that. That would not be good. You're out of your mind if you want a 3-hour. I finally watched the Nightmare movies last year. Yeah, I don't think they're that good, but maybe when I'm, don't have any distractions, maybe I'll watch them all and actually enjoy them. But I only got through the first 3, but obviously I'd start over again and try to get through them all. Love Dexter, but should have ended with 4. Although I don't hate because we did get Hannah after that. Yes, we got Hannah in season 7 of Dexter. So the more Hannah, the better. As you guys can see, that is Hannah McKay in my background. Or Yvonne Strahovski. It doesn't really look like her all that much. I think it was when she was younger. There was another Hannah thing that I wanted to get off of Amazon, but I ordered it and then it never arrived. It was from China, but it was like a canvas of her or a picture of her. It was a really nice picture of Yvonne Strahovski in a bikini, and it looks like Yvonne Strahovski. And I talked about this with a legendary Crazy Kaufman. So that's the best I can do to have Hannah and Dexter in my background. I'm thinking about changing my background actually and moving my computer desk over to that side, so my back would be opposite of that. I don't know. I ordered a new computer desk because mine is wobbly. It shakes and stuff because it's not put together the best. So yeah, Hannah McKay is absolutely awesome. So, I mean, there hasn't really been much Dexter news lately. We had the guy that plays Teddy, in my opinion, the least important character in the whole Dexter franchise. I hate the character of Teddy. Uh, he had a thought today that was on Daily Dexter about, he can't talk about it, but he mentioned, it was cool to be back, and he had a scene apparently with David Zayas, who plays Angel Batista. So that's that. For Dexter content, I went over this earlier in the stream, but I will be obviously reviewing all the episodes of Dexter Resurrection. I think with this season of Dexter Resurrection, I'm going to try to pay more attention to them and try to do a ranking of all the episodes. So rank all the episodes in order from my least favorite to my favorite. And obviously doing this season's ranked, and probably a villains and a character ranking of Dexter Resurrect after the season is over with, and then continually do that after each Dexter season. So that's the plan. Obviously, we're getting the first 2 episodes of Dexter Resurrection on July 11th. I'll probably do my review. I'll probably watch the first episode on July 11th into July. Wait a minute. Let me go back here. So it actually, for me, will come out on July 10th at 11 p.m. my time. So, but I'll have the review on July 11th, obviously. And then I'll probably do the review for episode 2 on July 12th. So for all of you that are here for my Dexter reactions, which T. Parker, for the most part, is here for that, the legendary Crazy Coffman, I'll have each review, July 11th and then on July 12th for that. And I'll give the legendary Crazy Coffman access to the Paramount Plus app, so he doesn't have to have Showtime. So just keep that in mind. Actually, they gave that to me for free as a member of Walmart Plus, but I have to pay extra for the Showtime, which I did not realize. So I'll have to adjust that. But the information to log in hasn't changed. So if you're using that right now, you still can use my Paramount, but it's just Paramount right now. I need to turn it into the Paramount with Showtime. So I'll give you access to that. But on that, you can only watch the episodes at 11:30 instead of 11 p.m. my time, unless they change it. I want to watch it as early as possible. So as soon as whatever streaming platform has it the earliest, that's where I usually watch it. I used to do the Amazon Prime version of things, but Amazon Prime sometimes doesn't have the episodes right away. Clyde should have picked up after season 4 with an alternate season 5 through 8. I'm not against that, and I think one day they should do that. Who would you cast as a young Arthur Mitchell, or would you prefer an unknown actor? I think you want to do an unknown actor. That way they can kind of, go into the role, but I don't know what they're going to do for that. I'm not super excited about a Trinity spinoff show. I just don't know what it could deliver. I mean, I was kind of like that way with Dexter Original Sin, and I feel like upon a rewatch of Dexter Original Sin, I won't like it as much, but I did like the stuff that they did with Brian Moser in Dexter Original Sin. But I do love Lumen. Yes, the legendary Crazy Coffin Man loves the character of Lumen Pierce, his favorite character in Dexter, I think. No, probably not. Dexter would be your favorite, but he definitely likes Lumen Pierce over Hannah McKay. It's sad. And, for that, it's time that I hate to do this to you, but for liking Lumen over Hannah, that's a canceled. Fingers crossed for Resurrection. 3rd time's a charm, right? My faith is pretty low, though. Yeah, I feel like I'm not going to like Resurrection as much, but I'm hoping that they do something to make me go, okay, this is good. I don't expect Hannah McKay to return. Obviously, I want her to return, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of scenes with Dexter seeing people that are dead, and that's where you could bring in Hannah McKay if she's really dead. Like there's a scene, apparently it's, what's his name? Miguel Prado and Arthur Mitchell in his head, or he sees them both. I don't know if he sees them both or he hears them both. But I feel like, oh, good God. I just saw this comment by Brad. It makes me want to throw up. You could have, obviously you can't bring back Ray Stevenson, rest in peace to him, the actor that played Isaac Serco. But, bring back I think they should bring back do we really need to bring back the tree trimmer guy or the Skinner? I don't know about him. He's like the least memorable villain. I never remember his name either. It's, George King? No. George Hill? No. It's George King, I think. I always forget his name. I think his first name is George, but I think Hannah should come back, but I don't expect her to come back. But I I don't have high expectations for Resurrection just because, like, I think that Clyde Phillips is out of touch with the Dexter fandom. It's evident to me why he's out of touch with what they did with Dexter New Blood. Apparently, landing the plane is on Top Gun. That's difficulty. Yeah. I think that Vince Gilligan should be the showrunner for Dexter Resurrection. Then the plane will be landed perfectly. I may put Lubin above Hannah. Why do you have to say things like that? Just going to upset me. This is the kind of stuff I get when I'm in a live stream. Not cool. Whoop. Go away, cancel button. Sorry about that. Funny, being canceled. Lumen is alive, unlike Hannah, but maybe Harrison lied. That's my hope. I mean, you could... Okay, so I'm guessing that Hannah was dead initially. I think, because that was supposed to be the end of the Dexter. That was supposed to be the end of Dexter. They were supposed to end the show. It was a one season and that's it sort of run. And now that, okay, we're bringing Dexter back because it was such a ratings hit for Paramount/Showtime that anything's possible with a character that we didn't see die on screen. And Hannah was always good at, tricking people and kind of being smart and fooling people. So I feel like they could, if they want to, do something where Hannah is actually still alive and never died in the first place. I don't know if they really care. I don't think Clyde Phillips gives two shits about Hannah's character. I know that Yvonne Strahovski is actually still popular. Like, she's still getting roles. Obviously, The Handmaid's Tale, but that's ending. But Teacup got canceled. So, I mean, I feel like they should bring her in for something. At least give her, if you want to kill her, if you don't like the character, at least give her a proper death. That's my take on it. I don't know if that's going to happen, though. I don't expect Hannah to come back, but I will probably, I know for sure I'm going to record my reaction for each of the episodes. Whether I use any of that footage or not, that's debatable. But if Hannah does come back, certainly you will get my reaction to that. Rita, Hannah, Lumen, Lila, Angela. Yeah, Angela is cringe. I hope we don't see Angela. I don't care too much about Angela. Maybe something comes out. Maybe the actress, Julia Jones. No, Julia Jones. No, Jessica. What is her name? So Julia Jones, not. I'm forgetting names. It must be too late. I don't know if she has other commitments, but I don't expect her to see her in season 1 of Resurrection. But maybe she can come back in season 2 of Resurrection and do a Google search to catch up on everything. We can definitely agree Angela's the worst, although I did heavily root against Lila. I liked Lila. I think I would love if Lila came back, actually. You know what? I think we will get Lila again, because that did happen during Clyde Phillips' run. So if we can get her as a hallucination or a voice that Dexter hears, Jamie Murray, I'd be all for that. No body, no death. Hannah's alive. I agree. There's a 1% chance we ever see Hannah again, even as a ghost. I think it's a bigger chance than that, because they're bringing back dead characters like Trinity, voices in Dexter's head. And, Harrison might see Hannah. He lived with Hannah for how long, I don't know. But you think that Harrison doesn't have strong feelings for Hannah? I mean, he barely knew his mom, Rita. So maybe Harrison will see Hannah. I think there's a 10% chance that Hannah comes back. Agree. Hannah is alive. Hope so. I don't know if she'll come back in the show, though. Clyde, though. Yeah, Clyde Phillips is cranky. He only wants to do stuff that he was a part of. Maybe Scott Reynolds has some influence on that. And I thought about messaging Scott Reynolds, like private messaging him about something in Dexter, but I don't know if he'll ever respond. Like, can we get some things in Dexter Resurrection that didn't happen during Clyde Phillips' run? Bring back Scott Buck. My nose is getting really stuffy right now. I might have to take a break to go blow my nose. Just to give you guys a heads up. I do hope Hannah comes back, though. But if she doesn't, I'm not expecting it to happen. I just want a good, solid show that gives me some tension and intriguing characters and good storylines. Are we going to get that? I don't know. Like they spent a lot of money on people. Like I know Peter Dinklage wasn't cheap. Uma Thurman probably wasn't cheap. Um, Kristen Ritter, she probably wasn't cheap. Hopefully, they do a good job. They have an intriguing storyline and something prepared for future seasons of the show. I don't want it to go on too long, though. How about Thomas Matthews? We'll see. I know Jeff Pearson's kind of old. I think he's 78, I want to say. Which some people, they don't do bad with that age, but let me check on Jeff Pearson's age. Oh, he's 75. So it's possible we could get Matthews back. I don't expect it to I mean, they haven't announced it yet, so usually it seems like this crew, Clyde Phillips, announces everything. Like he doesn't really have any surprises. If you look back to Dexter New Blood, a lot of stuff. I don't know if Angel Batista was announced to return or not. I don't remember hearing that, but maybe I just didn't know. Maybe they announced that on Dexter Daily and I wasn't a part of that then. But it seems like they announce everything ahead of time. Like they don't keep surprises, so who knows? But I don't expect to see Matthews. I'd be shocked if we don't get Quinn and Masuka, though. I feel like Quinn and Masuka will have a brief cameo at Miami Metro, but that's debatable, though. Matthews seems unlikely. Quinn and Masuka are my only thoughts. Yeah, I hope they come back. They should come back for a brief cameo at least, because Batista is coming to Iron Lake, and he's got to communicate with people, and they're still a part of Miami Metro, and he's the homicide captain at Miami Metro. So it would only make sense that they have a scene with Quinn and Masuka, or at least Quinn and Masuka in the background. Batista was announced, but was he announced for Dexter New Blood? Because he had his two scenes or his two things in Dexter New Blood, his 2 episodes. Was he announced ahead of time for Dexter New Blood? And I just didn't know about it. Because seeing him after the first couple episodes when it was completely, a completely different, place, like I didn't think we'd see Batista. And then I jumped off my couch when he came on the screen. Clyde Phillips regarding Hannah being dead. J-Dev, it's over. The fat lady isn't singing. Her song is done. She's getting dry humped in her dressing room. Not for New Blood, just Resurrection. Yeah, I know he was announced for Resurrection. Him and Harrison were after Michael C. Hall, they were for the first 2 confirmed people. So I'm going to take a brief break. It's going to be for like a minute. I need to go blow my nose because I literally can't breathe out of my nose. So I'll be back in less than a minute. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Feel much better now. I can breathe out of my nose. Not that I have a cold or not, but my nose gets really dry sometimes. Go back to the comments here. The other characters, so they have a lot of different characters that have been announced for Dexter Resurrection, like all these people with names. Are those people with names going to be like the villain of the night or villain of the episode, guys? I'm trying to say something and it's not coming out right. Where the Dexter run had random people, murderers in each episode. Can't remember what they officially called it, but are they going to like David Dashmajan and all those people? Are they just going to be like a 1 episode villain or something like that? But who knows? I don't know. I just want a good show. I feel like it's going to be like C plus at best, just going into it. I hope to be surprised by it. I hope to be happy if they if they bring back Lumen Pierce, I'd be happy with that, because at least as somebody that's a loose end that's still out there that knows Dexter's a monster. I do want to see Aster and Cody, especially if it's like broadcasted that Dexter's a serial killer. We don't know for sure if that's really going to happen yet, because Dexter could, Angela Bishop contacted Dave Batista, but Dave Batista, that's not right. That's the wrestler and actor Dave Batista. Angel Batista, maybe Dexter has a way of explaining it where they don't think he's the Bay Harbor Butcher. I don't know. So we'll see what happens with that. But I do want to see Aster and Cody, especially if it's announced that Dexter is a serial killer. But I don't know if that'll actually happen. I don't think they're going to announce that. Not yet, at least. Come on. I'm worried about too many actors. Yeah, we'll see. I feel like it's going to be, Freak of the Week is what it's called. Freak of the Week. I feel like a lot of those people are going to be Freaks of the Week. So we'll see. Who would you have kept alive longer, Dokes or Brian? Dokes. I feel like Dokes was the star of the show early on. Brian Moser was good, but I didn't appreciate him as much. I'm obsessed with Dokes. I freaking love Dokes. I'm gonna start, and on my Dexter review videos coming up, when I do a Dexter video, instead of saying, make sure you hit that subscribe button, I'm going to say, subscribe, motherfucker. Batista will be there. That was probably the biggest missed opportunity from New Blood. Quinn, probably not. That is probably wrapped up. Masuka, no. Makes 07 for him to be involved. Maybe a second cameo too. Well, I know Batista was going to be there. That's something I knew. I feel like with Batista still being the Miami Metro's homicide captain, they still work at Miami Metro. So I feel like he's going to communicate with them to let them know, hey, I'm going to be delayed or something like that. Dexter Morgan's alive. What? Dexter's alive. And then Masuka can go, that would be hilarious, actually. So I expect them to be back, although it hasn't been announced yet. But usually this crew has been announcing everything ahead of time. So it makes me a little bit worried that we won't get Masuka and Batista. Or Masuka and Batista. I did it again. Masuka and Quinn, but we'll see. Would have been nice if the Bay Harbor Butcher season came out later than season 2. Yeah, that was interesting. I don't know if they knew how long the show was going to last at that point. I'm not sure how long they knew it was going to, what they had planned ahead of time, what they knew they were going to do, when they planned to kill Rita off versus when it actually happened, or. Oh yeah, that's right. But we got to have Soderquist. Yes, we do have to have Soderquist, especially if there's a Miami Metro scene with Masuka and Quinn, or maybe just Batista at Miami Metro. We have to have a Soderquist scene. I think that would be great if we do get Soderquist. I don't know if Brad and T. Parker Evans know who Soderquist is. They probably do. But just in case, bear with me here. I'm looking at something. I'm going to try something here. I don't know for sure if it's going to work, though. Okay. So if you don't know who Soderquist is, this is Soderquist. He is a character that's in 70 plus episodes of Dexter, the original run, but he's a background character. He doesn't have any speaking lines, but Dexter mentions him a few times, especially when Rita wants Dexter to assemble his get his list of people that are going to be invited to the wedding. And Dexter's like, what's his name? Soderquist. But he's in the background a lot, and they mention him when they're in the briefing room. He's usually the first one there, or one of the first ones there. And Batista or LaGuardia will mention Soderquist, go here. Ramos, go here. So Soderquist certainly needs to come back. I don't know if he'll be back. Probably not, but he was there during Clyde Phillips' run, so we'll see. Go back to the chat here. Uh-oh. I'm not sure what happened, but something's not working now. There we go. Okay. Have you read or heard about how different the books are to the show? I have heard that, and I actually started listening to the book once, and then just kind of lost time to be able to listen to the audiobooks. Listen to the books; they are gruesome. That's what I've heard. The legendary Crazy Kaufman wants me to listen to the books. T. Parker, I've read the books. Season 1 and book 1 have the only overlap. Okay. Yeah, it's just a lot of time to dedicate to listening to books, although I can listen to stuff while I'm working for the most part, not all the time, but certainly I could. But sometimes listening to things and doing my job, it's like hard to focus on what I really need to do. So that's why I don't do it. But we'll see. I would like to listen to all the books if I can get them done in a relatively quick amount of time. I really wish my freaking lips wouldn't get so dry. It's freaking annoying. Oh, what other Dexter stuff can we talk about? I don't think I have anything Dexter related. My brain is not thinking of Dexter stuff as quickly as it does sometimes when I record videos. But I am looking forward to covering Dexter Resurrection. Hopefully it's a big hit on my channel. Dexter Original Sin was... I knew it would be a hit, but it was a huge hit on the channel. Watch Soderquist be the main antagonist of the entire series. That'd be awesome. I feel like they should put him in again at some point. And I did what I would do if I did Dexter, like a big rambling thing where it was not necessarily put in order of all the things that I'd want to happen, but I'd have to retcon Dokes' death. But one of the things that would happen would be Soderquist would be, I think I said he was captain or lieutenant, which lieutenant, I don't think he'd be lieutenant. He's too old to be lieutenant, but he would be like ahead of the person in charge of Miami Metro. I'm hoping that the plot makes sense. Realistically, he should be on the run or trial, but I feel like he's going to have people on his table, which I don't fully believe. I think it's going to be like a Hannibal Lecter sort of thing. It's going to be like Silence of the Lambs, where he's helping the feds catch killers. Just my take on it, and especially there's been scenes where he's like wearing a suit and stuff, which may or may not really mean anything, but I just feel like he's eventually going to be helping the feds. Maybe that's his new job, though. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I just hope it's done right. Uh-oh. Batista is the only character that needs to come back. Was the closest friend that he had. Always had his back. Needs to come full circle at this point. Yeah, but I think Masuka was his friend too. I think Masuka, Quinn, and Batista realistically should be the only people that come back if you really got to get down to basics. Even though I want Hannah McKay, Lumen to come back, and Dokes. But I think we should get a Dokes cameo. I just want to hear, surprise, motherfucker. That needs to be heard like in every episode. I really want Dexter to talk to a bunch of different people, and I feel like one of them in every episode should be Dokes, and not just Harry. But we'll see what happens with that. I don't know how I am with James Remar coming back. Looks like Dexter could have a new love interest, Jessica Jones. Yeah, I don't know how long that's going to last, but there's always Hannah McKay that's out there. We know that Dexter truly loved Hannah and always did love Hannah, actually. I think they'll go with M99 or ketamine. Well, it depends if Michael C. Hall has anything ketamine coming out. Like want to see his song. He had a song called Ketamine or something like that. So that's why they use that reference. But I think it's going to be called M99 if you can get access to the stuff, or you might have to go with something else. I'm really excited for Scream 7, and I want that to come out ASAP. I'm hoping October, November, December. Just don't want to wait till 2026 to watch that movie. Just off the subject, but I wasn't excited for Scream 7 at first, but I don't know. Once they announced Stu was coming back, whether or not he's alive or not, who knows? But I'm excited for that. You think they will make Harrison more likable? I hope so. It's going to be tough, though, because I don't like Harrison at all. I want them to bring back Jaden Wells from Dexter season 8. I'm just not a fan of Jack Alcott as Harrison because he's let me down big time. So we'll see. I think they will. I think they'll do something to make people like him. It's going to take some time, though. I'm not going to like him overnight, that's for sure. Overall, like I said, it should have ended with season 4. Him gaining and having his humanity taken is more interested than when he gets caught, dies, etc. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it should have ended. It should have been like Dexter should have died too at the end of season 4. That way they wouldn't have continued it and not brought in Hannah McKay for somebody like me to be obsessed about. But we'll see. Hopefully they have a good idea that lasts for, I don't know how long it should last though. Like I think 3 seasons, they should try to wrap it up in 3 seasons so we can complain about the ending again. But I have a feeling that they're going to try to keep this going as long as possible this time, which means like 7, 8 seasons. I hope not, though. That's a lot of time to invest. Jaden doesn't seem to have done anything since Dexter. Well, he's still alive, though, I think. So there's always hope. Scream 7 feels like the real Scream 5 with everyone coming back. Kind of. He'll die for a 3rd time. I don't think he's going to die. I feel like they've had him disappear. They've had him die. Now they're going to go the happy ending route. And then come back a couple of years later and do a different ending. I feel like if they come back again for some reason, they should just go back to season 7, at the end of season 7, and then start over from where season 7 ended. That would be what they should do. That way we can be back at Miami Metro. Deb can be alive. Hannah can still be around. I know it'll be years later, but that's what they should go back to. If they really want to go back to something, that's what they should have done. Just because nobody likes season 8 except for me. I don't love it, but I don't hate it like some do. 4 seasons max. Yeah, I hope they don't go too long, but I feel like it's going to be longer than 4 seasons. Dead people coming back and Scream is interesting. It's just going to be the whole AI thing, I'm guessing. Dexter having a happy ending route is the ending majority of the fans would like. Yeah, but he has to have a happy ending with Hannah McKay. I know, Troy, that's not what you want, but that's what I want. Clyde, don't let Dexter have a happy ending. He doesn't view him as somebody to root for. Okay. That's probably true. I don't know. Can you kill him off again, though? Like, they've already killed him off now, so they're not going to go that route. So they're going to have him, if it ends with him helping the feds or something like that, I guess they could go that route. Dexter from season 7 would please me. Yeah, I think a lot of people would be happy about that because there's a lot of things they could change and make better. But then you're looking at, Dexter season 7 ended in 2012. It's been a lot of time since then, it's going on, 10 years plus, 3 or 4 years, 14 years, whenever they end Dexter Resurrection, it's going to be a long time, probably around close to 20 years at that point. It's either death or prison, in my opinion. Yeah, I feel like that's logical, but I feel like they're going to have him have a happy ending somehow, some way. Did you ever watch U season 5? No, I didn't. I should have by now, but I don't know. Like, I already know what happens, and I will eventually, maybe when I get around to it. No one likes New Blood's ending, so I don't know how they can make an ending worse. Yeah, they could do something dumb. They could have Dexter slaughter and kill his own son. He could slaughter and kill Angel Batista, and then kill everybody else, and then just turn into a madman or something like that. And they're like, that's not really Dexter. He has feelings or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. All right. I'll try to go for another 15 minutes, and then I'll be done. I appreciate everybody that's joined the stream. And if you're watching this on the replay, let me know your ranking of your favorite franchises in the comment section. Make sure you Hulk smash that like button just to help out with the YouTube algorithm. I need the help right now because the algorithm's not treating me very well right now. Like my Walking Dead reviews are only getting like 100 views max, which they should be getting 300 to 400, which one of them did. I don't know. Something's going on, but I'm sure it'll get fixed eventually. Sometimes I'll go through droughts for like 3 or 4 weeks and then things will pick up again. But I would help. Anything that you can do to help me out with the algorithm would be greatly appreciated. They may find a way, T. Parker, LOL. It's very true. You know, challenge accepted. Clyde Phillips is like, you've already had 2 bad endings. Well, one of them wasn't your idea. There's no way you could have a third bad ending. Challenge accepted. How could I fuck up the franchise even more? I would almost kind of like that to see Cody Leach make another video. You fucked it up for a 3rd time? What the fuck? It'd be pretty hilarious. I hope not. Clyde is at bat. The pitch, the swing, and it's a to be determined. Lord of the Rings is likely my top answer for a franchise. I had a feeling you would say that. Actually, on Saturday, I looked at my Lord of the Rings 4K box set thing. I thought about putting in the first Lord of the Rings movie, but I never did because I've yet to watch that one. But I almost thought about it, but then I ended up watching 2012 instead. 2012 with John Cusack, Amanda Peet, Woody Harrelson, Oliver Platt. Movie that I really like a lot, which is kind of cheesy, directed by Roland Emmerich, another the world is going to end movie, but I freaking love 2012. I'm fine if he ends up happy with Hannah. It makes no sense, but as a man, that's living the dream. That's more Yvonne than Hannah being honest, though. Yeah, she's awesome. We'll see. I don't expect it to happen, but I'll love it if it does. I just want her to make an appearance, even if it's to kill her off properly. If she makes an appearance, I will be satisfied, which sucks. You'll just like the season if Hannah comes back? Yeah, kind of. I just love Hannah. If you did Game of Thrones, you need to watch them. Yeah, I did Game of Thrones. I never thought I would like Game of Thrones either, but I ended up liking Game of Thrones. Although, fun fact about Game of Thrones, I watched the first season of Game of Thrones. It was okay. And then I started watching season 2 of Game of Thrones, and about 3 or 4 episodes into season 2, like I just couldn't handle it anymore. It was making me fall asleep through every episode. And I took like a year break, didn't watch any episodes. And then right before season 7 of Game of Thrones came out, I started a rewatch of them again and got through it all and caught up in time for season 7. And it's in my top 5 favorite TV shows of all time, which I'll let you guys know if you didn't catch it earlier. I will be doing another favorite TV shows ranked video on my birthday this year, which is coming up here on August 2nd. So I'll be doing my top 50 favorite TV shows of all time. So be on the lookout for that on August 2nd of this year, probably at 7 a.m. Although I might do it at midnight. We'll see. Everything that happened after Dexter had the weed brownies in Original Sin was a wild trip in his head. Maybe. Excuse me. Oh, I had a thought that I forgot what the thought was. To me, the whole Hannah thing, the reason why I bring up Hannah so much, it just doesn't make sense what they did. It's like Clyde Phillips wanted no part of anything that Scott Buck did. Apparently, Yvonne Strahovski was never even approached to come back, even though it was rumored for a long time that she would obviously be back if they came back. And my excitement levels going into Dexter New Blood were, I was pumped because even though like I had no announcement or no confirmation that Yvonne Strahovski was coming back, I'm like, she's got to come back. It's Hannah. She's still alive. And then they kill her off screen in episodes 2, Storm of Fuck, because Harrison said she dies of pancreatic cancer. Really? You're going to kill a character off screen now? Like, you didn't even approach her to come back? I'm sure she would have come back. So I feel like they need to right their wrong and bring Hannah back. If they want to kill her off, fine. Kill her off the proper way. Either have her on Dexter's table or have the villain of the season find Hannah and kill Hannah and then have Dexter out for revenge. Something like that. Because when Trinity killed Rita, he had already killed Trinity before he knew that Rita was dead. So we'll see. No order, but favorite franchises: Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th for horror, drama, Godfather. I've only watched about 40 minutes of the first Godfather movie. I know. I claim to be a movie buff. I intend to watch them someday, although I've been saying that for years, so I do need to get on that. Think you review Welcome to Derry? Not at the moment. Unlikely. I just don't have interest in it. If anything, I'll review the new Alien series, but I don't know if I'll do that. I think my reviews to expect coming on this channel, I'll be wrapping up Lost. Let's see, I'm through season 6, episode 6 right now, and I have those set out through the first couple weeks of July right now. And depending on if I add some UFC reactions to that, which at the moment I don't have any scheduled, but I might decide to order an event that I wasn't anticipating. So, but I should be done with Dexter Lost in either probably late July or early August. And the same thing with Stranger Things. Right now, I've got all the episodes watched and recorded. I just watched season 4, episode 4 of Stranger Things, which I've already seen, obviously, before today. And I'll record both those videos for Stranger Things 404 and Lost 606 tomorrow. So I won't have very many episodes left. Lost is through season 6, episode 17, and 16 and 17 are a double episode. So after that, we'll see what happens. Obviously, Dexter Resurrection on July 11th and 12th, and then weekly after that. And then I don't know what I'm going to start watching. I might go to finishing Cobra Kai up, which I've already watched, but I never did review videos. So I've got 10 episodes left of Cobra Kai. I've got, if I want to, 7 episodes of The Last of Us season 2, which I already watched it all. Just not sure if I'm going to do reviews of it, because I feel like me doing the review of The Last of Us, why would somebody want to come to my channel to watch a Last of Us review when I don't know anything about the games? It's just me rambling for, 8 to 12 minutes about the episode when they can listen to somebody that's played the games and has some more insight. So that's why I didn't do Last of Us season 2 reviews, although I might, because I'm learning more stuff about the show now. New Blood wasn't even that good even before the finale. We were just happy to see a new season after so long. Absolutely. We definitely had rose-colored glasses that shattered once we got the finale. Then all the plot holes looked rough. Yeah, and rewatching New Blood is worse on a rewatch. Action, Mission Impossible, and the Raid, fantasy, sci-fi, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Alien, latest Planet of the Apes, comedy, Naked Gun, maybe. Comedies don't work as a franchise very well, though, in my opinion. I just saw the trailer for the newest Naked Gun movie, the remake with Liam Neeson, and it was funny. They showed Leslie Nielsen's character, the captain, and then they showed O.J. Simpson in the theater had a very silent it was not a. I never watched. I don't know if I watched all. Maybe I watched parts of some of those movies, but it was just funny for that. I didn't think of the Alien franchise for my ranking. That might change my ranking. Because I did, when I finally watched all the Alien movies last year, I did like them. But is that better than the Avengers MCU movies? We'll see. I can do it again. I can do this in, a year from now and redo it. Any reason why you didn't review The Last of Us Season 2? I just kind of talked about that. I didn't even know you had wrote that yet. Yeah, I just feel like, I don't know a lot about the show, the game. I don't know. I know spoilers about the game, but I know people will come to my channel to watch it, but I don't know if it's worth the, I can only watch the episode at 8:00. If it was on at midnight or 1 or 2 in the morning, I would probably do it easier. I would probably do it then. But with it being at night, I just don't like watching things at 8:00 at night, because usually I miss that time now. I'd rather watch it 10, 11, 12, 1. But I think I will do The Last of Us Season 2 reviews. I just didn't do them right away. Maybe once The Last of Us Season 3 comes out, I'll start doing those review videos when they actually air. But we'll see. I think my Last of Us Season 1 videos didn't get any subscribers on the channel, which that's not why I do videos. I don't really do them for subscribers. It's just what I want to talk about. But I don't think they did that look good, although I haven't looked at the analytics for that. I'll have to go to those videos and see how they did on the channel. Facts, Brad Hawk Talk. I put out my Last of Us Season 2 short today. I need James' World Tech and to get my overall season review. Yeah. My work ethic is just to watch a lot of stuff ahead of time and do a lot of videos ahead of time and watch stuff and stay consistent. I'm so far ahead that I can slack off for 3 or 4 days. But if you look at my quality, like my thumbnails and stuff, Brad obviously has better quality than I do. So it's a work in progress. I thought about doing better quality, but right now I'm just comfortable with what I'm doing. I feel like even a really awesome thumbnail for a video that hasn't been doing good that I think should do good won't really change it, but we'll see. Season 3 comes out in 2027. You think 2027? I don't know. I think it's going to be 2028. Get ready for a toxic audience on both sides. If F the new Naked Gun movie from what I've seen, unless the context is different, stinking a dude in the neck with the lollipop doesn't matter. I'm assuming the point is missed. I don't know. I don't know enough about the Naked Gun movies to really comment on that, but I thought it was funny what they did for the teaser trailer that I saw of it. They claim season 2 in 2 years. Well, they haven't started filming anything, and the scripted that is not done yet. So I don't know. It depends on when they get around to that. They start filming next year. Okay. I didn't know they were going to film next year. It is wild that part 1 was only 1 season, but part 2 is supposed to be 3 seasons. Yeah. It's crazy. I guess I'll give my thoughts on The Last of Us Season 2 as somebody that doesn't know a lot. I mean, obviously, going into it, spoiler alert for anybody that hasn't watched any of The Last of Us Season 2 or unfamiliar with The Last of Us 2 game, I would mute the stream or get off the stream right now. Crazy Coffee Man probably doesn't have any interest in it. I'm not sure what Troy knows about The Last of Us. But for Brad Hawk Talk and T. Parker Evans, who else is in the stream? Well, I got 5 people here, but only really 3 or 4 are comedy. So there's one person that's being silent, which is not me. I don't have anything on the stream right now. I'm on StreamYard, not YouTube. But The Last of Us Season 2, I thought was all right. I think episode 2 was far and away the best episode. I mean, we know what happens in that episode. I don't know all the Last of Us terms. I can't remember all the terms. But when they go to the town and wreak havoc on the town, and then you're worried about what's the brother's name? Play the guy. Wow. Didn't think I'd forget his name, but he's kind of sidelined for most of the season, really. Whatever Joel's brother's name is, I can't remember his Tommy. Tommy you thought was going to die. You thought the chick from True Blood, his wife, was going to die in that. And then, of course, the ending scene, what happens to Joel in that episode and how gut-wrenching it is that Ellie has to watch what happens to Joel. That's a 10 out of 10 in my opinion. Probably, I mean, if you want to talk about my favorite TV show episodes of all time, that's up there. Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 3, The Long Night. The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 2. The Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 9. Dexter Season 4, Episode 12. Breaking Bad Season 4, Episode 13. Those are the ones offhand that I can remember, but that Last of Us episode was pretty good. The first episode was slow. The third episode was slow. Fourth episode, I don't remember. There's kind of good moments in it, but I mean, all in all, I don't think it was necessarily a letdown. I think I was okay with it. I'd give it kind of a neutral. I know Brad likes to give a negative, a positive, or a neutral review for things. I just give it a numbered score. I would give it a neutral review. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. Kind of in the middle on The Last of Us Season 2. And my nose is clogging up again. I don't know how part 2 needs to be 3 seasons long. Well, they want to stretch it out. I feel like they should have stretched out Season 2A longer and had whose death be the end of the season. But then that's ended down a cliffhanger, and that makes people very upset. But I feel like they should have stretched out the time we get with Pedro Pascal. Just my opinion, but that's my opinion. What is this thing that's... Interesting. Clearly, this isn't your wheel, but episode 2 of The Last of Us and episode C were fucking great. Well, I did like episode 2 of The Last of Us, so we're in agreement there. I never watched any of Endor, though. Tommy, yep, I figured that out before you said that. The attack on the town wasn't in the game. Okay. I stand corrected for The Last of Us. Yeah, it's good. Just didn't do. I did reviews of season 1, just didn't do reviews of season 2 yet. Although I probably will. I guess my favorite episode of the season is the finale episode with them developing Jesse a lot. Okay. I was neutral. You know, it wasn't a slow. It was kind of slow. I felt like it should have been a little bit more fast paced to begin with. Neil likely wanted to hold faithful to his original stance on taking out Jesse early or taking out Joel early. Okay. For me, season 2 is a 7 out of 10, while part 2 of the game is an 11 out of 10. Okay. Well, we've talked about TV shows. We talked about Dexter. I did my ranking of my franchise, which I guess really wasn't the main point of the stream because I knew this would turn into a Dexter stream eventually. It always does. But I think I'm going to call the stream unless somebody has something really cool to talk about. I do have some time still, but, you know, I can get ready for bed and get ready for my 4-day work week here, which I'm not looking forward to. I'm beginning to hate my job, actually, because just so much changing. But I hope you guys all enjoyed me rambling about my favorite franchises of all time. I hope you guys enjoyed the Dexter talk, the Last of Us talk, any random movie talk that we had during this stream. I appreciate the legendary Crazy Kaufman. I appreciate Troy, the Cream McClure. I appreciate Brad Hawk Talk, T. Parker Evans. Well, I don't need rest yet. I'm not going to bed yet. I'll lollygag for a half an hour, 45 minutes before I go to bed, but I don't know how good I'll sleep. Although me doing a live stream will make my brain mentally exhausted, I think. So, yeah, good. You need your rest. Good hanging, guys. Yeah, I'll try to do more streams this week since I have StreamYard for free. I think it's something else to talk about. If anybody has some suggestions on what you want to hear me talk about, shoot me a DM on Instagram or just put it on the stream comment section. The replay of the stream that'll be there. I won't delete it. I know some streamers will, or some YouTubers will make their stream private after they do it. I don't do that. If anybody isn't sub to date, JDev definitely do. Yeah, we got 5 people here. One person hasn't talked the whole stream. Well, no, we had that one person early on the stream. If you're still here, I appreciate you being in here. It was like really early comment. Going way back here now. Well, I can't find it now. But yeah, if you're not subscribed to the channel, if you like the content that I put out, certainly consider subscribing, motherfucker, as James Stokes would say. Hulk smash the like button to help out with the YouTube algorithm. Anything else that you want to do is greatly appreciated. If anybody wants to give thanks on the stream, I don't expect anybody to pay me any money for anything, but the option is always there if you want to. But obviously, I am getting paid for YouTube, although I haven't been paid yet, but I'll get paid in June. Don't know how much it'll be. I think it's not a lot. I mean, I make like under $1 for each video, but it adds up after a while. Oh, that's right, Nathan. I forgot about Nathan. You're right. I forgot Nathan was here. Yeah, I appreciate it, T. Parker. But yeah, do everything you do to help out with the algorithm. Hulk smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. And thank you for being a part of the stream. And of course, you never know what you're going to see on JDev TV. Have a good night, everybody.